Hey guys, it's Adam. I hope you're doing lovely. Welcome to Do You Watch Anime, a show where I sit down with a guest every week and ask them, do you watch anime? And we go from there. And today joining me is voice actor in such anime as Kimini Todoke and medalist Madeline Dorroh. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, do you watch anime?
I do. Not as much as I used to, though. I feel like I watched a lot more as a kid than I do in modern, which is funny because, I do dubbing now, so you'd think I would watch more of it, but I don't have time all the time, so.
So, how did you first get into watching anime?
I feel like I'd have to think back a little bit, but I'm sure I must have caught like Pokemon and Digimon on TV as a kid. And then when I got a little older, I don't know if you remember the days of YouTube and people uploading anime in 3 parts per episode. And the first series I ever watched to completion that way was Full Moon wo Sagashite, which was based on the manga by Arina Tanimura. And classic shoujo, really good show. I watched like all 50 some odd episodes of that on YouTube because some champion just uploaded it. I don't think they're up anymore, but there goes my cat.
There goes.
That's my cat Penny. I love her, and this is my VO booth actually where I record my auditions from, and sometimes she runs up there.
I love it. Come
here, Penny. She has a cat tree to get back down here, so she's fine. And she has another thing on the other side that she can leap onto, so she's good. But
I love it.
It's a little alarming when you're not used to it, for
sure. So, growing up, what were some of your favorite anime?
Let's see. Well, I did really like Full Moon. Loved Pokemon and Digimon Adventure. As I mentioned, I watched seasons 1 and 2. And actually, they did a redub of the Digimon movies that I got to be in as Cody, which made me so happy. Granted, it was only because his original voice actress in the dub, Felice Sampler, sadly passed away a few years ago. So, of course, as a fan, and I would have much preferred to like see her come back, and I'm sure she would have loved to reprise. But be that as it may, I was excited to have the opportunity, and I hope I did it justice. But let's see, Pokemon and Digimon, Full Moon, Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
That was one when I started to have a little bit of a better understanding of what anime even is, that there's more beyond just whatever was airing on TV. I think FMA was another one of the big ones that, and to this day, it's like my favorite manga. Well, I don't know. I have a couple of favorites, but it's still really high up there as one of my favorites. Yeah. And I do prefer Brotherhood over 2003, but both have their merits for different reasons. So
yeah. When I was first getting back into anime in college, my friend was like, "Here's Your Lie in April," and it destroyed me. And then literally, it destroyed me. And then he's like, "Here's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood," and I was like, what is anime?
Tonal shift.
Yeah, complete.
But it's still so good.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I have the entire manga as well. Like,
okay.
I honestly would say I'm probably, at least when I was younger, I was more of a manga reader than an anime watcher because, my local library would get manga. And so I'd read I think I read probably the first dozen volumes of Naruto and Bleach that way, but then they didn't have more beyond that, so it's I never quite got to finish those series back then. But Fruits Basket, I watched the original anime. I know they did the recent relatively recent at this point, but they did the newer the reboot show, and I actually haven't sat down and watched that. I've only read the manga and then watched the first anime. But I know the new one completely finishes out the story, right? So
it was my first introduction to Fruits Basket.
Really?
Because my partner had watched the older one and read the whole manga up until that point, and so it was just her just watching my reaction every week to be me completely emotional mess.
Real mood.
Yeah, it's my second favorite anime of all time. I love that series so much.
Wait, what's your first favorite then?
It's My Hero.
That's a good choice. I actually haven't watched much My Hero though. I'm
it's
not
good.
but I think it would be right up my alley because I love superhero stuff. So I'm like, okay, and I just for some reason I keep being like, yeah, I'll watch it, and then haven't yet. But
that's valid.
Also, I do see the Medalist poster behind you. Makes me happy.
What?
Did you hear that there's a season 2 that's coming?
Yep. So exciting.
Yeah, that's hype.
Yeah. So speaking of Medalist, you voice Inori in Medalist. Yes. How was that getting cast as Inori?
That was really exciting. Because I had read, I think I had read a few chapters of it, like when it was first starting to come out, and I didn't stay super caught up on it. But then when I received the audition and learned that there was an anime being made, I was like, oh right, like this series. And I remembered that there were like several young girl characters to probably read for, and that does tend to be what I book a lot is younger girl characters. So I was kind of just hoping I could get in there as anybody. But I was particularly excited about Inori because she's very relatable. A little too much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm not a figure skater, and but I feel like she's very relatable for anyone who's, I guess, pursuing any kind of, either like a career or like an artistic hobby or just like any kind of pursuit that you have. These days it can be so easy to worry that it's too late because the world moves very fast, and if you're not already good at something by a certain stage, sometimes it's hard to get into it later. And with all of Inori's concerns were about figure skating, which is a very rigorous sport and leans very young. Like you look at all the Olympic skaters and they're all below a certain age most of the time. That's true for many sports. So for her, that pressure is especially real. For myself, I've just felt that more in terms of acting because I grew up in a very, very tiny town, very, very super isolated rural area, and there weren't many opportunities for acting around there. And I really wanted to try and learn, but there just weren't many chances. My high school had a drama club, but we did one play a year. It was a good opportunity, but just not. I wasn't able to keep working at it the way I wanted to. And as I was getting older, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do acting if I don't figure it out. And that was actually how I stumbled into voiceover to begin with, because I figured out that was something I could do from home. And I was like, okay, that's going to be my only chance. I gotta start doing that. And it all went from there. So Inori's, I guess, journey as a figure skater, and she has the exact same fears and concerns that I did trying to pursue acting, and it was way too real to I was reading the manga. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So seeing her go on this journey and pursue it anyway, even if she is getting started late, and the work she's putting in and everything she has to do to try and catch up, to try and still pursue it anyway, and then her learning not to worry about what everyone else is thinking and just do things at her pace. I'm like, that's all the lessons I need to be learning. So it's I hope anyone else who watches it can relate to that, because that was so real for me. And that's why she's probably one of my favorite characters.
Oh yeah. And we watched it every week as it was coming out.
Oh, good, yeah.
And literally I was like, anyone who hurt her feelings, anyone who even tried, I was like, that's my child right there.
That's the thing, right? It's she's very relatable from a personal, but also now that I'm an adult, I feel like I'm more of a Tsukasa, right? I'm that's my baby. She's the best. I would not hear a negative word about her ever, anytime at all. So I would go to bat for her any day, anytime.
So so how was it as an actor voicing such a cinnamon roll, but she's also got this kind of layers to her? She's not just a cinnamon roll. She's emotional. She's a kid, right? How was that?
Oh, that was awesome, because as someone who is often typecast as either younger girl characters or particularly characters who have younger, cuter voices, that just tends to be what I get. And sometimes depending on the project, whether it's a game or an anime, and especially if it's a much shorter thing, maybe you only have a few lines, you don't often get to really dive deeper into a character's psychology, into what they're thinking and feeling and going through. sometimes lines are just kind of sound bites. Sometimes you just have to like declare something or be like, yippee, and that's the line. And like, that's all great. But Inori goes through a whole journey, and it was so, it was challenging, but also super fulfilling as an actor, getting to explore that, not just like her fun parts, but also just like the stuff she's going through. Like that's the reason I really like acting, is getting to explore all of that. And so it's very, very rewarding when you get to explore that as an actor. Since you don't control what you book, you just throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. And so when the stars align and you get something that is very fun to do and also really personally satisfying that way, it's like those are my favorite roles ever. So and also it's funny because Inori, she is a great kid and very emotional and very driven, and she's also a little weird.
Yes.
And that was actually something when I was working with one of our directors, Christina V, when she was sitting down, I was like, okay, so here's Inori, here's what she's like. And I was like, having read the manga, I was like, And she's like, but here's the thing. She's like, she's not just cute, she's also a little weird. And I was like, oh, that's how I know she's perfect for me, because I am too. And everyone is. So it's like, I think that was sort of the ticket, right? Is getting to feel like, okay, she's not just a cute little kid. She's a little bit of an oddball, and she's had struggles, and she's had a hard time, and she has all these things she's really passionate about, and getting to bring that together was like chef's kiss. Like that's what I like to do. So in short, it was very good.
Yeah. Anytime she did the wormies thing, I was like, cool, I'm just gonna cry now. Cool. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Thank you so much. Hey, y'all, just wanted to take a moment and talk to you guys about an incredible convention debuting this year. OzokuCon runs from August 29th to 31st, and it is located in Port Huron, Michigan. Even though this is the first year they're running the event, they have one of the biggest talent rosters in all of Michigan. Meet Griffin Burns, John Gramillion, Walter Jones, Naya Marino, Caleb Yen, and even some friends of the podcast like Ben Stegmeyer, Mauricio Ortiz-Segura, and Corinne Sudberg, plus many more. This convention is jam-packed with some amazing panels, a nearly 24-hour arcade, courtesy of Classics and Wadoka, and gaming tournaments running all weekend long, thanks to Grand Finals Entertainment. Plus, Friday and Saturday, they have some awesome after-hours events. Like on Friday, they have a live production of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Saturday, there's a rave. So to learn more and grab your tickets, go to ozokukon.com. I hope to see you there. And now, back to the episode. So what were some of your favorite moments to record for Inori?
Oh, man. I can think of 3 off the top of my head. I'm going to say them in no particular order. One is when after there's a moment in one of I don't remember the exact episode number, but there's a moment where she puts on a great performance, but then she like hurts her ankle because they're worried about shin splints and things like that. And she's on the train ride back with Tsukasa, and they're talking about it and talking about how she has to maybe like take a step back from skating for a little bit to allow for recovery time. And, that's a really tough thing to hear when you're pursuing something as hard as you can, because, she's worried about having the time to do it. She's worried that it's not going to work out. But she actually kind of takes it in stride, because in that conversation, I think she tells Tsukasa, I'm not going to worry about anymore what, if it's too late. I need to do my path and what's going to work for me. And I'm like, you go, baby. So I love that whole moment. Another, I think, is when at the skating camp, the kiddos get these little like fireworks sparklers. I love sparklers. I still love sparklers. They're fun. And she like goes with Tsukasa, and like they like light the sparklers together, and they talk a little bit. And I think they both talk a little bit about how they overcame like the parts they didn't like about themselves in order to grow into the people they are today. And I felt like I'd have to double check. I believe that might be the second to last episode. And the last episode ends on a great note with like, the skating and the competition, like it's all in like the level advancement ceremony, all of that. But I really felt like that conversation was sort of the real culmination of their journey together before they could lead with that like athletic finale there, and so I loved that for their characters. And then the other one I really like is when Inori meets Hikaru on the rink, and she sees Hikaru do this like amazing was it not an axle, but she does this like amazing, like she does a really impressive move for her age, and Inori's like, oh my god, I need to know how to do that, teach me. And it's like I got to make my voice really weird, really weird for that one, and we just had total fun. Like I sound crazy when you watch the episode, so that was very fun, especially because Hikaru's, she was just kind of like, okay. So I find those kind of comedic moments really, really fun. So I hope that I could probably yap about the whole show at this point, but those are definitely a few of the moments that I really remember and stood out.
Yeah, I also love where she tells the story of how she got to the skating, to pay for the skating, the worms part, and I was like,
she's just digging up all those worms.
Yep. And like the kids are like, she's really weird. I went, you know what? That is a little weird.
It is. Leave her alone.
Oh no! I am like,
yeah. I was also a weird little kid, so I think that's why I'm just like, hang in there, baby, because it gets better.
Yeah. Oh my god. I think it was the first or second episode where like more of the stuff where her mom is like denying her skating. Oh my god, that I was a mess. I was like, this show's gonna destroy me. Like, oh my god.
Really good. And if you are so inclined, the manga's still going. And it, especially before season 2, like reading the manga is super worth it, because there's so much more to unpack about the characters, so many more arcs that they're going through, and it gets crazy. So
so what are some of your favorite characters other than Inori?
That I voiced, or just like in general?
Oh, just in Medalist.
Oh, Medalist. Okay. Well, I do really like Tsukasa. I'd be remiss if I didn't. I just, he's a stand-up dude. He's really funny, really awesome, and I get a little emotional about how hard he's working for Inori, and I just love that guy. Let me think, because there are a few. But I don't want my answers to be too basic if I'm just like, I'm just naming all the characters. And then, no, let me really think for a second which ones I really like. I really liked Emma. And Emma doesn't get, her arc is kind of contained within a couple episodes. But like Inori really takes something away from that, which is about Emma's dedication and moving at her own pace and doing what she had to with the tools she has available to her. And Emma, I'll always love like the pigeon scene. She's first introduced. So Emma has a really soft spot in my heart because of that. And then I'll also say Hikaru. Hikaru, I feel like you don't even get to scratch the surface with her in season 1. So read the manga, because there's so much more to her. And I only find it more and more interesting as things go on. And I'm not going to say anything more than that, but like, she's a fantastic character. And I hope we get to delve a little bit more into that with season 2.
Yeah. I would protect Mittens with my entire life.
I also love Mittens. She's so funny in the dub. Her dub voice, Kitana. She is so funny and so perfect for her. I love it so much.
As soon as she started speaking, I'm like, this voice is perfect. Like literally, this is exactly how I think this child would speak.
Absolutely.
So good. So I had Jonathan on the show.
Awesome.
And we got to talking about the cascading outing.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah, how was that for you? Because I'm jealous because I can't skate and I'm Canadian. That's bad.
Well, you got to get on that.
I know.
No, it was really fun because I had been skating a couple times before, and actually when we started recording the dub, I was like, now I kind of want to go ice skating. So I went out and I had gone a couple times on my own before we even went out as a cast or anything. So I'm kind of basic with it. I can stay upright can't really do much more than that. Still learning how to stop properly. But I like to go sometimes, and it's really fun. And the cast party was really fun just because often when you record on a project like this, you don't usually get to meet everyone else. And especially because I had kind of gotten started with anime recording during COVID era, right? So actually a lot of my first roles were recorded from this booth, from home. So I really didn't get to see anyone. I wasn't going into the studios or anything. But even now, like even when you do go into studio, you're usually just seeing like the director, the engineer, maybe running into other talent if their session was right before yours. But most of the time you don't really get to meet anyone face to face. So what was really fun about that was getting to put faces to the names and actually get to like meet everyone and talk to them about how they were doing and like who they are, like, you know, and their experiences. And so it was a total blast. And I had, because that was actually my first time getting to go to like a cast party like that. I made everyone little goodie bags with little gummy worms.
Oh my God.
So that was really fun. And I don't know, it was a really special occasion. And I'd love if I got to do that for other shows, but I don't see that happening. It just depends. It just depends on if anyone can organize it.
That's true. When I saw it on social media, I was like, this is the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
It was so cute.
Yeah. I was like, this is incredible. 10 out of 10. So you were talking about working with Christina. How is working with Christina V as a director?
Oh, she's awesome. Yeah, no, she's very experienced. She knows what she's doing. Really understands the characters, and I guess like how to get reads out of you. Like, and I think that's something that, like, you know, someone who's a good actor is not necessarily going to be a good director because they're different skill sets. Like you can know in your head how you want to read something as an actor, but then directing is not just knowing that, but then how to communicate with someone, how to get what you're looking for from that person. And Christina does both, and she's amazing at both. I was like, oh my God. So that was really fun, and the sessions were a really good time. And it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So you voice in one of my favorite romance anime ever, Kimi Todoke.
I was wondering if that's what you were gonna say. I was like, I think I know what you're about to say.
How was it getting to be in the dub, which was wanted for so long?
Oh, it was awesome because that was a show I had watched as a teen, and I haven't revisited it since we recorded the dub. So I'm like I'm pretty fuzzy on some of the details now, but that's like one of the iconic shoujo shows, and like, oh, so that felt really special. I was very excited to be in that. You know, my role's pretty small. I'm not going to overstate anything. I just here and there, like commenting on what's going on. But I really loved it, and it was really special to like, because when you voice in scenes like the ones I was doing, where usually you're doing what's called like walla or additional voices. So it's like you might like have a couple lines here and there, and then you're trying to fill in the background. It's always fun doing that because then you can kind of hear what other people are doing, and like sometimes you might recognize a voice or two and be like, oh, I wonder if that's my friend so and so. You know, so I love getting to do that. Getting to have those experiences, and I was so happy that they did a season 3 and that we got a dub for season 3. So that was super thrilling.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite romance anime?
Oh man, let me think for a second because I don't watch that much romance anime. I watched more of it probably as a teen, like or on High School Host Club. Classic.
It's a classic.
That might be one of my top favorites, and I hope it kind of someday gets the Fruits Basket treatment where it gets like a new. Even the original is wonderful, I would just like to see one that adapts more in the manga. Did you ever watch Kaicho wa Maid-sama?
That's one of my favorite anime ever. Oh my God! Literally,
that was another one.
Oh, perfection. Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh my God.
I'm sensing a theme here, which is that I really like the romantic comedies. Like it's like they have to have like a comedic, fun element outside of just the relationship stuff. But yeah, that's also a classic. Also really loved it. yeah, I'd have to think. I'd have to like sit down and think a little longer. But off the top of my head, those two really like stood out to me, especially growing up. So
Yeah. I am the
and people don't
shonen.
talk about it as much anymore.
Exactly.
Like
Like, oh my, I need it literally stopped as it got good. Like
it
or got
needs,
better.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I feel like it's gotten a little bit buried to the sands of time,
Mhm.
just compared because there's so many wonderful shows, and
Yeah.
especially now, um, we get a lot more. We have a lot more shows that get localized
Mhm.
and compared to back in the day. So it's like
Yeah.
maybe we just have too much content now to really always have the shows that are particularly iconic or memorable.
Mhm.
But I'll always remember Kaito Maid Sama. So
Yep. Yep. We were doing like a whole romance anime binge during the pandemic, and
ooh,
it was Maid Sama and Kami Sama Kiss that we binged
I never
first.
watched that one, but
Yeah.
I know what it is. I never sat down and watched it.
Yeah,
That's
it's very
great.
good. Yeah, yeah. I I will always defend Maid Sama with my life. So good, so good.
I should revisit it. It might be on
Mhm.
Netflix or something, but
I think
I
so.
haven't
Yeah,
checked in a second. So
yeah.
Hi, I'm Steve Yurko.
And I'm Tara Sands. Now available from Maji Media is our new podcast, 4Kids Flashback. 4Kids is the company who brought you the English dub of Pokemon in the late 90s and so many other shows like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Shaman King, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kirby, the infamous One Piece dub, and so many more.
We'll be talking to the people who worked at 4Kids. Actors, directors, writers, editors, producers, engineers, you get the point. And hopefully get the answers to questions both you and I have about the company.
I actually worked there as a voice actor on some of the shows.
And I was a kid watching the shows and remember way more than Tara does.
And thank God for that. Steve is actually a professional storyboard artist, which gives some really unique insights into anime and animation. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. That's the number 4 Kids Flashback.
Hey guys, welcome to the Patreon portion of today's episode. And if you want to join the Patreon, there are a few different tiers, like shoutouts on the episodes, as well as exclusive videos and behind the scenes content and so much more, and even the episode a day early. Thank you to Gio, Keith, Blythe, Bunny, Mikey, Sheba, and Brooke. And if you want to join the Patreon or find out more, the link will be down below. And yeah, back to the episode. So, how did you originally get into acting in general?
yeah, well, a lot of it, like it did start kind of back. I think I had mentioned like, oh, when I was a teenager, and it was like, how do I get more acting experience when I live in a teeny town? And that was how I stumbled onto voice acting, because I learned there were websites where people were doing like fan dubs or like indie projects and things, and that if you had a microphone and could record yourself, you could submit for those and just do it entirely online from home. And so that was how I got started kind of doing that. And there used to be more like voice acting forums and websites. Now I point everyone to Voice Acting Club, which is like a forum and Discord server that like has a lot of resources for people getting started. But there were like different sites and stuff back in the day. And so that I kind of got started there, and I used to just do like little fan stuff, like little comic dubs, whatever. But my first ever like I guess official like professional paid voiceover project was for a game called Ghost Song. It's like a Metroidvania style game, really really beautiful graphics and story, and so that's how I got started doing that. And then I kept kind of doing indie projects and stuff throughout college, and then after college I was like, I want to move to LA, so I moved to LA. And then 6 months later COVID hit, and I was like, okay. So after that I started doing like I started submitting for places. I'd like recorded a demo. I had some other voice actor friends who could refer me to people or studios that they knew of, and that's how I got certain opportunities, thanks to their references. So like, and then just slowly things kind of just started building from there, and now I'm here. So
Love it. So, what did you study in college? Was it acting or?
no, it was
Okay.
actually English, and then I
Okay.
did like a minor in film.
Okay.
Because I love voiceover work.
Mhm.
I love to keep doing voiceover work, but I also really just love like film and the animation industry, especially.
Mhm.
And I also have an interest in like production and distribution and things like that. So I fully approached college with the mindset of needing to like prepare for a non-acting job. And I still did, obviously you can see I still did very much like humanities artistic focus, but
Mhm.
those ended up serving me pretty well because that's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff I do now. So
Yeah. Love that. So going back to manga,
Mhm.
what are some of your favorite manga?
All right, so Full Metal Alchemist, it's
Yep.
always going to be high up there. Medalist, I've come to really, really love. Witch Hat Atelier. Have you heard of
Yes,
it?
let's
Yes.
go.
It's apparently getting an anime at some point. I'm so
Hopefully.
excited. They showed a teaser for it last year at Anime Expo.
Mm-hmm.
I really am excited to watch that. And then also Look Back. Have you seen Look
Oh,
Back? I read the
oh,
manga.
the
I mean,
manga's great. Yeah.
and I mean the film is a pretty accurate like
Mm-hmm.
adaptation of the manga, but I really love the manga. It's very
Yep.
short but very good. I'm like I'm like looking at my shelf. I'm like, what do I read? what manga do I like?
Yep.
Those have been probably the biggest ones lately.
Mhm.
I'm not caught up on Chainsaw Man right now, but
Yeah.
I have been reading it. Like I'll usually just like catch up on a few chapters and then blitz through them
Mhm.
every so often instead of just reading like them one chapter at a time.
Yep.
But for sure, Witch Hat Atelier has been like the big one for me
Yep.
recently. And I think I just love that series so much. Like if I think it and Full Metal Alchemist and Medalist are all in my like top 3 and like no particular order. So
Yeah. My fiance and I did a a whole panel on Welcome to the World of Witch Hat Atelier at a con recently.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. She's obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. She's obsessed with it more. She'll go on rants about it, and I'm just like, it's really pretty.
Yeah. That's how I feel sometimes when people are like, "Oh, can you elaborate?" And I'm like, "No, but I know how I feel in my heart."
Yeah.
I even have the Coco figurine. They released like a scale figurine of her. It's in the other room, so I'm not going to get up and grab it. But that's like the only anime merch item I've like splurged on because that one was a little more expensive than some of the other stuff out there. I'm usually not too huge on like expensive figures, but that one's worth it because everything about that manga is just perfect.
Oh yeah. One of my voice actor friends got me into the manga because I was interviewing them and I asked about manga and they're like, "Oh, Witch Hat Atelier," and I was like, "What's that about?" And they explained it, and I was like, "Oh no, this is not good." Because like they explained the magical system. And I was like, that sounds like Owl House. That I love that. And then I picked up the first volume and went, oh no, now I'm gonna have to get all 13 volumes. Oh no. And it's just
I think Dana Terrace is a Witch Hat fan. And I think I think Kamame Shirahama, author of Witch Hat, like I think there was like an exchange or like where one of them drew fan art of the other series and they're like, so it's like that made me happy because it's like I love to see creators supporting each other, loving to see their inspirations, that's all very cool to me.
Yeah.
And, oh god.
No, we call Keyfree Better Gojo.
No, see, people are always as soon as the anime comes out, people are going to be comparing him.
They are.
Keyfree was first.
Yes, Keyfree was first. Yes.
Gojo's cool, whatever, but I'm like, the Keyfree, like he's been there, so but he is the better Gojo. So
he's not an asshole to kids. Yep. That's one thing I like about Keyfree is you can see his kindness and the way he teaches and stuff, and I'm like, I love you, Pookie.
That's what I really like about the series in general is I feel like it creates a world that's like, what if we were kind to children and like treated them with respect? What if we considered their hopes and dreams and desires? What if we treated that respectfully as they like try to figure out how to navigate this imperfect world and try to make tough choices? I'm like, wow, what a remarkable concept. We don't see that much anymore because so often children are sort of shoved to the side, their opinions are deemed unimportant, their thoughts are not fully developed, so people are just like, whatever. But Witch Hat really said, like, don't you remember how this felt as a kid when you felt this way, and what if we like worked through that? And like, and I think that's beautiful, and I think that's sort of why it relates. A lot of like artists and neurodivergent people and queer people really relate to it when they read it, because even if it's not specifically about any like identity, or I mean, I think that there's a lot of stuff in there about that. But like, even if you're just reading it just as it is, like as the story about magic and everything, I think it resonates with a lot of people. And I think there are very few stories out there that treat certain topics and character traits and feelings so like compassionately. And I think that's very needed in today's world. So I adore it so much.
Yeah. And like, speaking of going back to Medalist for a second, Medalist also does a fantastic job of writing children.
Yep.
I think both series do a great job of just letting kids be kids. And I think that's so important. And we don't get that a lot, because what are you telling me? These kids are 16 in JoJo's? No, that's a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, like, and that is one of the things I do also really love about Medalist. And I love that you not just have these kids who are pursuing things they dream about and care about, and like their feelings are being treated as real, but then they also have these important mentor figures in their life who take that seriously. And that's why I love Tsukasa so much, because he's like, listen, you want Olympic gold? I'm going to help you do that. Like, even though it's you know, any other adult, any other person who hears little Inori be like, I want to be a medalist, I want to be an Olympic gold medalist, and you're like, you're 11 years old and you've barely started skating. But he saw how serious she was about it, and he's like, I'm going to help you make that happen. I'm not going to tell you can't do it. I'm not going to tell you it's impossible. And that makes me emotional to think about. So
yeah. When
actually, Shirahama-san made a fan art of Inori once, because of the did you ever see that?
I never saw that.
Yeah, because oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking on his name. The fellow who made the opening song for Medalist.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes, and she drew Inori, and I was like, oh, so it made me so happy. I was like, oh, a crossover of like a couple of my favorite manga and anime happening right now. So it was very exciting. And I went to a panel about Witch Hat Atelier at a convention. Was it Anime Expo last year? It might have been Anime Expo. It might have been another local con, but there was one where Kamome Shirahama was there, and she was doing a live Q&A while she drew.
I went to one at New York Comic Con.
Like she's been doing a lot of events and like touring around and stuff, and that was super cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so, like, obviously she's so good at drawing, but I was like, wow, she's really good at drawing, because you get to see every brushstroke live. I was blown away. Wow,
she drew Keyfree in like half an hour. I'm like, and it's so detailed, and she's still talking and like making the backgrounds, and I'm like, how is this possible?
That's what always amazes me about like comic art or like sequential storytelling art, because you know, typically with any like illustration, it's like, oh man, it can take me so long to like draw something and then figure out the background and colors. And it's like, yes, what if you did all of that and then had to do that 5 million more times to tell a story in a sequence? And it blows me away. Sometimes when you see art that manages to be both like really detailed and intricate and also keep everything going, I'm like, wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, straight up. And like, even like, I'll use, because Witch Hat comes out every 2 weeks in Japan. I'll use My Hero as an example. The fact that the mangaka for My Hero did such detailed work every single week, once a week, for like how many? Oh my god, I am like, are you okay?
Wait, speaking of detailed art, have you watched or been reading Dandadan?
Yes.
I can't believe I blanked on that. That's another one. I literally have been watching the season. I went to see the Evil Eye theatrical, like the 3 episode. Like, I was like, wow, I've literally went to that, and I
Yeah.
just blanked on that recently. But oh man, the art in that, like
Oh.
I love how they adapted it, and like the line work in the manga can be like really, really detailed, and
Yeah.
they somehow managed to adapt that for the anime without necessarily doing that one for one, but without like losing the style it had either. I was like, wow, that's art.
Yeah, literally. And like the colors they use in Dawn to Dawn. Oh my God. I'm a big proponent of like, if you can make it colorful, make it colorful, because it's it's just chef's kiss. So good. Yeah. What's your favorite part about Dawn to Dawn?
Oh, what is my favorite part about Dawn? I mean, like, Ira's my favorite character. I think she's hilarious. I love a girl who's a little problematic and really funny. So I'm like, she just cracks me up.
Yeah.
But I think maybe like, I think part of what I like about it is that it goes to such crazy heights. You have these insane moments, these insane fights, these insane creatures coming out of the woodwork to cause conflicts. But at the core of it, it's about young love. And it's about like, you know, these sort of like in the midst of all the big like fights and the big things happening, you also have big emotions from the characters.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's all kind of told in this really like earnest way. And, you know, I guess it's sort of like, in a way, it's like what you see with some of these other series we've talked about that I like. It's like, oh, like kids' emotions being taken seriously. Dawn's a little different. They're teens. Yeah. It's there's a lot of like comedy and humor and stuff played into it as well. But anytime it goes from like these really big moments and then goes back to these like kind of moments of vulnerability with like Momonokurun, you know, I think he just made a beautiful balance, and I think it's really compelling to read. So yeah, I've been enjoying the heck out of that.
Yeah, I haven't picked up the manga yet. I want to, just because the art, I've seen the art and I'm like, that's beautiful. And it's it takes a lot for a series for me to like every single character. And when Gigi showed up, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna. This is it. This is the character, right? And then we saw the Evil Eye in theaters and went. God damn it, guys. I love that boy. Would protect with my life.
Yeah, well, that's what I think is fun, is like he's introduced and you think, oh boy, he's going to be like a rival love character to Okurun. They're going to hate each other, but they're actually such good friends. And it's like, and you know, that's what I like about Ira too. It's like, okay, here's this girl who's being a total jerk, but then she comes around, and it's like, I like that. You know, it's that sort of that antagonist sort of brought into the found family trope. I think that's fun. Dawn to Dawn has a great time with it, and they do it really well with all their characters. And I think I love how it subverts your expectations that way.
I also like you get some of the, I guess, background of some of the like aliens and ghosts and stuff. That's cool.
Episode 7.
Yep.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh
you know
God.
what I'm talking about.
Yep. Oh my God. God. Yeah, and I saw a meme when it was season 1 was airing, and it was are they in love? Worse, they're stupid. That's exactly I was like, that's how you sum it up.
It's a great summary. I
agree. Yeah. Oh my God. So what's sorry, word just came out of my head. What's the hardest lesson you've learned since becoming a voice actor?
That's a good question. What's the hardest lesson I've learned since becoming a voice actor? I think there's a lot. No, but I think, you know, maybe just sort of acknowledging that there's always going to be elements outside of your control. And like, that's true for all of life, right? Anything you choose to do in life, there's always going to be stuff out of your control. But I think with voice acting, it can be tricky because you know, for some careers, for some pursuits, there's sort of a straight path. It's like, okay, if you like get this kind of degree and this kind of like work experience, then you can like get this. Like, there's certain things where it's like you can kind of like plan a lot. And in voice acting, there's a lot outside of your control. You know, you can, because at any given time, for any role you're submitting for, there's at least a dozen other people who can probably do it just as well as you. Like, not getting a role doesn't mean you're not talented. It could just be because they had to pick somebody and it just didn't happen to be you. It could be because, maybe casting director wanted to try working with a certain person. It could be because maybe the clients really wanted to bring on someone. There's any number of reasons besides your talent that can go into why someone is cast, for better or for worse. And I think sometimes that's tough because you want to sit there and think, I'm doing everything right. Why am I not, but there is no doing everything right. There's just doing your best. And then, seeing where it takes you. And, again, that's true for all of life, right? But I think it's just especially applicable in voice acting because people's emotions are very heavily tied to this, right? Like I told you just about how much like I love Inori and like how much Medalist resonates with me. There might have been other people who also really resonated with Medalist who didn't get to be in the show. There might have been other, and that's true for every project. And so you can have something you care about very deeply and not get to work on it, or and that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and so I think it's just important to just like have fun with the auditions, but then just understand that if you don't get the gig you want, that it's just the way it is and you got to keep rolling. And with VO especially, like, because I think I said you're always like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. You can't control what you book, so just have fun with enjoy the process, have fun with it. Don't think about the stuff that's not in your control. Just put your best self out there and see what happens. So that's all you can do.
Yeah, I love that. So how has your relationship with anime changed since becoming a voice actor?
Ooh, great question. How's my relationship with anime changed since becoming a voice actor? I feel like I sometimes watch less of it because it's like, sometimes there'll be a series that comes out and I'm like, oh, I kind of got a sense of what this was from the sides. It didn't seem like it interested me. I'll be like, oh, this show, I don't know. It's like sometimes I'll hear about something in an audition before I'm able to watch it, and then like I'll decide whether or not I want to check it out from there. Sometimes I think maybe the number one thing is like if someone's watching a dub, I get to do this thing where I'm like, I know the guy who voices that person, and my friends are like, you get it, you live in LA, you know this thing. So I'm like, oops. So I'm a little more obnoxious now about my anime voice trivia. But other than that, though, like I still really like anime. I still love it as an art form. I love the stories that are told. I love the art, the artistic like qualities we get to see in the animation, and none of that's ever going to change. So aside from I guess just a couple of those like funnier like surface level things, I don't think it has changed it that much. Like I still just pick the shows I like to watch, and if I like them, I'll watch them regardless of if there's a dub or not, regardless of anything else going on. I'm just like, if I like it, I'll check it out. So
I love that.
I think it's important not to let work bleed into other things you really enjoy. So I try real hard to make sure that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, same here. The amount of times my friends will be like posting on, say, Instagram or something, being like, I love this new show, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know this character. And they're like, Adam, shut the hell up. But yeah, and so what have been kind of some of your favorite anime of the past like year or so, besides Dawn to Dawn and Medalist?
I mean, those are kind of some of the main ones I've watched. Okay, yeah. And like that's the thing is like I have not watched the same volume of shows that I used to watch when I was young. I have less time, I'm working now. I play a lot of video games on the side, so I'm out doing things. So it's like I love anime, but I don't check out. I'm a lot pickier about what I watch now because I don't view as much. Let's see. Yeah, Dawn to Dawn was great. Medalist. I'm blanking. Was there an older one I revisited not too long ago? Wait, did you ever watch Noir? Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's about like these two like women assassins. It's a very limited. That was a series I had watched once growing up, and I was like, wow, this is obscure. No one's ever talking about it. I revisited that one not too long ago. And that was still pretty neat. But other than that, I'm like, I'm now just kind of watching what I feel like in very not always high volume of work.
No, that's valid. So speaking of video games, what have been some of your favorites this year, I guess?
Well, Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 just
Oh,
came out,
yes,
and that's
yes.
been consuming my life. I loved Undertale when it came out, and I've loved Deltarune chapters 1 and 2, and I've been dying for years waiting for the
Yeah.
next chapters to come out, and I'm glad that Toby Fox let them cook and got it done on his own pace, because they are amazing. So I've been really deep into playing those chapters, delving into the lore, seeing people's like theories, loving all that. I also play Final Fantasy 14.
Okay,
I
yep.
love it a lot. Really great game. I also played Disco Elysium.
Okay.
Have you played Disco Elysium?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it uses a dice. It's like a very heavy on the narrative type of game, and then like you do like dice roll checks to like move forward the dialogue and things like that. It's quite text heavy, and also emotionally very heavy. So like, don't play it unless you're like in a decent mental headspace. But
yes, I have heard of it. Yeah. I just had to Google.
So,
yeah.
No worries. So that's very good.
Mhm.
And then I'll also just play like kind of silly social games with my friends, like Lethal Company or Last Train Out of Wormtown.
Oh yeah.
I do a lot of stuff like that too. So so yeah, I do a lot of gaming as well. Love all of those, and I'm already Deltarune wise, I'm already ready for the next chapters, but I know they'll probably be a little while, so that's fine. Let them cook.
Yeah. After this interview, I'm about to start Date Everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope this. I've been wanting to check that out too, because like I'm about to do the thing. I know some of the people in it, so I'm like, oh, so I've been wanting to check it out, and like I can poke my friends and be like, hey, I found your character.
Yeah.
It looked really silly and fun. I loved the whole premise of it, so I might go check that out at some point too. But I'm still I'm still working through Deltarune, so like one bit at a time.
Yeah, pretty sure my partner's playing it in the room right now.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I what was I gonna say? The same thing. You don't have time for anime. I don't have time for video games. The amount of
video games are very time consuming.
Yeah. I was like, I have time for my WWE game, and that's it. Because with the show I have to watch what the anime that people have been in and stuff, and like I'm like, my friends will be like, have you played this? And I was like, no, I'm still on 2014.
Yep. Well, that's the thing of it for me, is because sometimes my gaming time also doubles as some of my social time. Like, I'm not that much of a nerd. I still will like go out and see people. But like sometimes if it's like, okay, it's been a long day at work, I'm just gonna hang out and I'll like talk with my friends on Discord and play a game or something. And it's easier to be in a voice chat with friends while I'm playing a game versus if I'm watching a show. So that I think that tends to drive while I'll play a game versus sit down and watch something, because it tends to be a little easier. But
so when you're choosing a manga to read to start to pick up, what are kind of like the factors you look for?
Not to judge a book by its cover, but if the cover looks interesting, that will get me to be like, what is this? And check it out.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these days my recommendations come from friends. So if someone's like, hey, I've been checking out this series, it's really good, I'll be like, oh, really? And then like that, like I'll at least look it up and see what the premise is. But yeah, I guess the core to me is always like, if the core premise is intriguing, right? And I'm sure that's true for like any story, right? But it's like how do I put this? Like if you told me like, oh, like Witch Hat Atelier is just little girls learning magic, I'm like, okay, but what's compelling about that? But if it's like, if you tell me, oh, Witch Hat Atelier is about a girl who stumbles into the world of witches and soon learns that there's like different factions that have different beliefs about how magic should be used, and she finds herself caught in the middle of them, I'm like, really? So it's like,
tell me more. Yeah.
So it's like, if you give me more information about like the conflict and the struggles and sort of the journey that the character might be going through, that tends to catch my attention more than just like these tropes in it, you know, it's like, no, give me a sense of what the author's actually doing with it, not just like a bullet list of what happened, like what appears in it, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I get a lot of my recommendations from Twitter as well.
Mm.
I'll see like someone post like a panel, and I'm like, what is this from? I need to know
Yeah.
what this is from.
Especially Witch Hat, because the panels are so beautiful.
Yeah,
So
yeah. When I looked up Witch Hat after the interview we did, I was like, oh no, oh, this is the most beautiful thing I've seen in years. Like,
hmm
I don't understand. Like, I grew up with this, like, really, I don't even remember the name of the book series, but it gave me that vibe of it was like some elf thing. I don't know. I don't know. It was Deep Woods, something like that. But it gave me that vibe, and I was like, uh-oh, this is this looks so good. I need to pick up volume
yeah.
1 immediately. It's the same with what is it? Green Yuri. That's what it's called
Oh yeah,
online.
I've still
Yeah,
never. I still haven't picked that up, but I've been meaning to. It's
very
on the
good,
list.
very good. The art, again, I'm a sucker for good art,
hmm
so I saw the character designs and I was like, I'm in. It's like and like it's adorable and unfortunately a slow burn, but we get there. It's not
Yeah.
as slow of a burn as Rent a Girlfriend, but
There you go.
yeah.
Which I understand ended recently. I haven't read it, but
So technically, no, it
oh,
hasn't ended.
oh,
We
okay.
just got an answer.
Mm, intriguing.
Which is something. I dropped it, so I was like, oh, finally. Anyway,
Oh no.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of what I love about how much stuff we have available to
Mhm.
us now is that I feel like sometimes back in the day, like I'm not even, you know, I know that there's even older generations of anime fans, but like
Mhm.
it felt like at least when I was growing up, there wasn't always that much available to us. So I
Yeah,
think there was sometimes more pressure to be like, oh, well, you know, I should stick with this series because we just don't have that many others right now to check out. And now it's like we have so many options in terms of manga. You can always read them through the apps or like,
mhm.
you know, watch things on streaming and stuff. It's like, if you don't dig it, don't worry about it. There's
Yeah,
probably others that scratch the itch that are even better for you. So,
yeah. Exactly. Like I remember, at least back in Canada in like the early 2000s, we had the Shonen Jump like monthlies
oh,
that would come out.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had
Um,
was it Shoujo Beat? Like
oh, there was Shoujo Beat as
I'd
well.
get
Yeah,
like the Shoujo version at the grocery store.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
We
was
got it.
shorter lived, yeah.
Yep. I remember being at the grocery store being like, is that Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh? No way. Mom, can I get this? And we got it. And I remember opening it when, where's Yugi? He's only in like
Mhm.
the last 20 pages. What is this?
Yep.
And then that's how I learned about One Piece. And that's how I learned about Naruto. And that's how I learned about Bleach. And I was like, there's blood all over this. Oh my God. Oh, this is so cool. And that's how I like fell in love with One Piece. And I'm like,
Mhm.
and so when people are like, yeah, I watched it from the beginning, I was like, I read it from almost the beginning. um
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'm so old. But yeah, and just like collecting manga to me is,
Mhm.
I don't know, it just scratches that neurospicy itch.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was restarted collecting manga like
Nice.
3-4 years ago, because I was like, you know what, this Comey Can't Communicate show looks pretty cute, I'm gonna check out the manga. And I
Yeah.
bought the first volume and went, oh no, now I have to buy the second.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Hmm. And then they had a shortage because of the pandemic of auto.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so I literally searched for volume 9 everywhere. I eventually got a German copy, uh,
Ooh.
because I thought I was like, oh my God, it's available. Buy. And it came in, I opened it up and went, that's not the publisher. Oh
Oh, no.
no. And I opened it up and went, it's in German. Oh no. Yeah.
That's still kinda cool to have, though,
Oh
like
yeah. I was like, Tokyo Pop still does stuff. What is happening? Uh, but yeah. And
like,
like,
not the way you think.
yeah, exactly. And like, I know finding space for it is pretty hard. But I like reading physical. I will read it. Like that's how I read all of Chainsaw Man was on the app. But yeah, I like the pages.
For sure. I like the tangible feeling of something in my hands while I'm reading it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. It was fun just like chatting about that stuff. I'm like, but honestly, I think my takeaway now is like, I really should keep up with the latest anime a little more because I know there's some cool titles that are coming later. Like I think Gachiakuta is getting
so
an
good.
anime. That trailer looked awesome. I've been meaning to sit down and watch Anne Shirley because I love Anne of Green Gables, and I watched the oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Isao Takahata's Anne of Green Gables anime adaptation like years ago, and so this is a new one. So I'm like, let me watch. So it's like I need to sit down and like get to my backlog a little bit, so I have more to talk about next time. But thank you for having me because this is really fun.
Of course. Where can the lovely people find you?
Where can you? Twitter/X is just at my name, which is just at Madeline Dorroh. It can be spelled somewhere. And then I'm also on Instagram, but it's my name with VO tacked onto the end. It's just Madeline Dorroh VO. I'm also on Blue Sky. I think it's just Madeline Dorroh. I tried to grab my name on all the places I could. I think that's it. That's the only places I want people to find.
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's valid. I had a voice actor on recently that was like, "You can check me out on LinkedIn," and I was like,
whoa, wait
okay.
I was like, kind of a flex. That's kind of a power move.
I know. I was like, God damn, okay. That's a first.
All right, cool.
All right. But
don't find me on LinkedIn,
but you can follow me at Corky Cosplays on Instagram, Adam Corky everywhere else. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Boo.